Hey guys, Dragonairbender back with another canon release. So today I have it's 255 anti-gravity basically. I'll show you what that means if you don't understand it here in a second. So I'm releasing this canon for basically my 1,500 sub special thing really. Uh, by the time I uploaded this, we're either at it or just like almost at it, pretty close to it or whatever. I'm releasing this thing at 50 likes, basically, so we should hit that pretty quickly. We usually do. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and show you what an anti-gravity basically means, and why this cannon can shoot 93 chunks with only 75 power on both sides. Let me see. So what kind of holds back most cannons and what keeps cannons from shooting as far as they potentially could is the hammer. So let's say you have your power, you got your sand, or you got your sand, you got your hammer right there, or whatever, then you have your guider, and it's something like that. So what happens is power goes off, it flies, hits the wall, something like that, follows the guider, and then your hammer goes off 3 ticks later, and it'll stack the sand. And because your hammer goes off 3 ticks from the power, it only has 3 ticks to travel to the wall. So that doesn't give it a lot of time to go that far. That's why you need like 300, 400 TNT to shoot, I don't know, 40 chunks or whatever, really. So that's why you need a lot of TNT to shoot a good distance, even because your hammer's on 3 ticks. Now, if you didn't have your hammer and you were just shooting your sand, that thing could travel like hundreds of chunks, really. But, that's pointless. So, and what kind of keeps you back from putting your hammer on a longer delay like this is that your hammer falls so far down. Like, it'll fall down there by like 6 ticks. And then your sand stacks like that. Then you blow a hole in the wall. And look, you just clip on it. So that's why you have to have your hammer on like 3 or 2 ticks or whatever you guys do. I put it on 3 ticks. But. So to kind of compensate for that, the gravity pulling it down, this thing basically uses triangles. So you would have your power here and your hammer here. I would put it a little more in the block, like between the two, so it doesn't get as much Y velocity. That's what I have there. It's pretty low Y velocity. So what's happening is this goes off, it shoots the power, or shoots the hammer, and then first game tick it's like here, second game tick it's like there, and then third game tick it's like there. Let's say it hits the wall on the third game tick, and then what would happen is, since it's going up like an arc, kind of shaped upwards, it would hit the wall, it would lose all its horizontal velocity and still keep its Y velocity, still travel up like to there. But let's say it doesn't hit the wall. Let's say your first game tick, second game tick, third game tick is right there. But see, passes the wall. It's there for next game tick, and then say there, sure. And then it hits the wall. Then it hit the wall up higher, but since it's delayed, it won't go up as far because it still keeps the same Y velocity no matter what. If it hits the wall first, it'll use up all its Y velocity in those game ticks, or it uses its flight path going like this. It'll use its Y velocity there, and then it'll slide up a few more blocks because it's already used most of its Y velocity traveling there. So it essentially hits the exact same place on the wall as it would here, as it would here, and then 93 chunks away, or however far yours shoots. I'll also be doing a like one of those how to cannon episodes on anti-gravities if we get 100 likes, just because it's kind of a complicated thing to talk about if you don't understand a lot. So here's what I did. Most people set it up a lot different, but this I find to be the most effective way, really. The only issue is you can't change the power, really, without changing some other ticks. But who needs to shoot more than 93 chunks? It's completely pointless, really. Unless you want to raid across the map. Guess you could do that, but I think 93 chunks is good enough. Copy, paste. This is also a parallel fusion. It's the best parallel fusion you can get, really. You can't get any better because the sand and the hammer are exactly in the same block with exactly the same power. So it's virtually the exact same. You could have it hit a carpet way over there if you wanted, or a lily pad or whatever, and it would hit the same block. Like normal parallel fusions, like when Dexter releases, those aren't really parallel. Those are close, but they're not. So as you see, you can kind of see the sand slide up the wall. Try to show you again. So it hits the wall in about the middle of it, and then slides up, and then scatters it down. Now remember that it hits the wall in the middle. Just remember that for later. I'll show you why that matters. I'll just fire a few more times to kind of show you. The cannon doesn't really lag that much because it's only like 600 TNT. Okay, see, stacks perfectly on those slab busts. Let me count how much TNT this is. So it's 583 plus the scatter, so it's like 600 about. So there we go, goes through that. Now I'll try one 93 chunks away. So I'll get that on my clipboard right there. Okay. I'll be writing it just to kind of show you, and so it loads all the chunks and stuff. Oh jeez. So yeah, kind of travels far. So yeah, right there, that's basically 1500. 15. So that's 93 chunks. It could probably go 94 since it's at 93.75. So yeah. Set home wall new. Now I'll show you that middle part. You know, where it hits the middle of that wall. I'll show you why that's kind of important. So as you see, it hit the wall at the top. Now, why that matters is because if you have an arc, like in an arc like this, like that. I already kind of explained this, but that's kind of just like how to show you how this thing works. And then let's say, so that's your arc right there. You intersect at this point right here. It'll hit that point and then just slide up to that right there. And that's where this cannon basically hits right there. But if you intersect it right here, it'll slide up one block. And it'll just keep the distance, but it hits the wall at different heights. That's why you need a scatter from where your cannon barrel is to the height that it stacks at, so you don't have any clipping issues at large, like far away chunks. I will show you that it stacks on the obby. Okay. There we go. Okay, it's just obby durability. Give me. It's weird on the server sometimes. There we go. Okay. And then we do it again. I'll show you it on, like, I guess I could do trapdoor filters. I could just set up a bunch of them so you guys can see a will fusion that far. Okay, you get it. Second shot will get rid of it. Already kind of showed you that. Let me get some trapdoors. I don't know how to build these, so I'm just gonna kind of guess. I've never really built trapdoor filters. I guess I could just do that. Will that work? I mean, I'll show you that'll stack on them, so. And then I'll do, I guess I could do some slabs like there or something. Well, let's give them area so it stacks in between them. I hope it doesn't like just shoot through one of them. It shouldn't. I guess we'll see. Okay, I guess it just did what I didn't want to. Oh, let's move these up one. Maybe it'll work now. Probably should have tested this before I recorded, but you know, whatever. There we go. Okay, as you saw, it's stacked on it. Oh, we're just out of one-shot sand. One-shot sand's right there. I'll also show you a another version of the anti-gravity. It's not really triangles. It uses guiders. Oh my crap! There it is. I was wondering why I kept falling. So this is my other version of it. It's kind of my own kind of idea of how to do it. It's not as efficient. It's as you see, it's kind of like a normal cannon. But how I increase its range to 3 times, and you could do this to any cannon besides like left shooters, but like if you have a normal cannon and you want to increase its range by like 3 times, you can do this to all of them. So what's happening is I have the guider set up so it hits the wall like this. Get some sandstone. You got your rev, you got your hammer, and you got your sand. So how I delayed the hammer is this hits the wall in the first game tick, then it, you know, falls like, let's say 3 blocks in a few more game ticks. Then what happens is the rev goes off. It's 2 pieces of TNT, and I'll show you the ticks later. But what happens is this will go off, shooting the sand up a few to like there, and then the hammer up to about there. It'll also shoot the one-shot sand or gravel or whatever, and it'll just stack. So you can delay it to about 9 game ticks. So yeah, 3 times the range basically. And those are the ticks right there. Just so you can see them, it's 2 TNT. Here's the guider. Sand comes in above. Hammer clips there. And then the rev shoots there. It's not a fusion. That's another downside. But it is a efficient nuke. I guess I will show you how it works, or it firing, because why not? I'm not gonna be releasing it though. There's no real point in me doing that. I just hope it doesn't lag so you guys can see it. Oh, I guess it's gonna hit this wall, whatever. But yeah. See, as you can see, it kind of... Okay, it kind of boosted up and shot down. It's really quick. But yeah, that's basically it. I will show you this is a straight line, so you guys don't think I'm tricking you or doing some weird thing. Yeah, it's a pretty long distance. It's basically across this entire plot. So yeah, it's right about there. I don't really have much else to show you, so yeah, uploads every Sunday or Monday, really. I will be uploading something Christmas Day, so look out for that. Just so you know, I'm not gonna like take a break that day. I'll probably just pre-record and then just have it set on a schedule upload. Oh, another thing is, these are, oh wait, yeah, these are 3 ticks apart, 3 ticks difference, so it's a little different than, you don't, it all depends on like the power and the ticks and just all that stuff. You just gotta kind of mess around with it, and again, I'll show you in a different video if we get 100 likes. I will show you guys how to make your own in several designs. Oh, I didn't really talk about this. So, basically what happens is these 2 boosters go off a game tick before its individual powers go off. So, it's getting the least amount of Y velocity because this TNT, the power, is on the ground while the sand and the hammer are in the top part of the block. Another weird thing is lily pads are 0.1 or 0.125 high. Yet somehow TNT can still fly over it, which is really weird. I was just kind of messing around and I found that out, so that's why I use it in my cannon here. It's pretty it's effective, yeah, so that's why I did it. So you don't need slabs pulling back or TNT shooting up in midair and then like doing all this weird stuff. You just have it compressed, that shoot in and that shoots out, and that's basically it. Nothing too complicated if you know what you're doing. It is complicated for beginners, really, just with the game ticks and stuff and how the triangles work. But that's really it. As always, guys, thanks for watching.